images that we see of the Hollywood sign on fire actually started to spread on social media as Los Angeles battles one of its worst fires in all of its history.
The Palisades fire has grown to more than 21,000 acres. It is only 8% contained as firefighters continue to battle dry conditions.
Unstoppable disasters, cities burning down to ashes. While the world watches on.
The fire first started, so I rushed over here to pack my belongings and I got the evacuation orders.
The recent wildfires in LA will leave you suspecting the authorities and how things are actually panning out.
I came out and I saw a fireball.
Do you know what you're gonna do now?
How do I get to my house?
Oh, God, it's gone.
I hadn't cried until I got here.
Is this all part of a planned scheme, or is it a warning of something bigger to keep the public in control? Let's find out.
The fires spread so fast, and I knew that with how close that fire was to us, that we would literally have minutes to get out safely.
On January 7th, 2025, the state of California was ignited by wildfires, and within just 12 hours, 3 major fires broke out across Los Angeles County: the Palisades Fire, the Eaton Fire, and the Hearst Fire. By the end of the first day, the fires had already burned thousands of acres, forcing mass evacuations and leaving a path of destruction in their wake.
The fire first started, so I rushed over here to pack my belongings and I got the evacuation orders.
Here's a timeline showing how fast and destructively the fires spread. California wildfires left people with very little time to take action, as they spread at an alarming speed due to a combination of natural and environmental factors. The fires ignited in areas with dry vegetation, which acted as fuel. Months of drought had left grasses, shrubs, and trees brittle and highly flammable, creating perfect conditions for the flames to grow. Another factor that played a major role in the spread was the Santa Ana winds. These strong, dry gusts, reaching up to 90 miles per hour, carried embers over long distances. As embers landed on rooftops, yards, and forced new fires sparked almost instantly, creating a domino effect.
The winds that continue to fuel the flames are a known phenomenon in Southern California. They're known as the Santa Ana wind.
The winds also made it nearly impossible for firefighting aircraft to fly safely, limiting efforts to contain the flames. Urban residents added to the danger. Many homes were built near fire-prone areas, making entire neighborhoods vulnerable. Combined with the wind's ability to jump highways and rivers, the fires quickly moved into populated areas. This lethal combination of dry conditions, strong winds, and poor infrastructure created the perfect storm for the wildfires to spread so uncontrollably. Thousands of firefighters are on the ground, supported by helicopters and aircraft dropping water and fire retardant. Fire break strips of cleared land are being created to slow the spread of flames. Crews are working day and night to protect homes and stop the fires from advancing further into urban areas. However, firefighters are facing major challenges. The powerful Santa Ana winds make it nearly impossible for helicopters to control the flames. The heat and smoke also create dangerous conditions, putting the health and safety of firefighters at risk. Another big problem is the failure of fire hydrants in some areas.
Of every fire hydrant you've seen, what have you found? Right now, we're finding most of them are down or low pressure.
Caused by dry reservoirs and aging infrastructure. Without enough water, crews have struggled to stop the flames in certain neighborhoods. The unpredictable behavior of the fires, driven by shifting winds and dry fuel, makes planning and coordination extremely difficult.
The Eaton fire remains estimated to be 10,600 acres, and we have 0% containment.
Project BlueBeam.
You hear the noise? Man, you need to fear this. This happened at 3 a.m. in a security camp, and this is how the fire has been begun.
There's a growing theory, one that can't be ignored any longer, that the government or someone behind the scenes is using Project BlueBeam to ignite these fires. All across the country, strange things have been happening. The sky lighting up with random beams shooting straight into the air, strange anomalies flickering across the horizon like signs of something unnatural at work. At first, people thought it was just a freak occurrence, something unexplainable, but now those weird beams, the glowing lights, the strange distortions, it's clear. This isn't some natural phenomenon, it's Project BlueBeam being tested right in front of us. A weaponized experiment to control the weather, to manipulate the skies, to create disasters, and LA. It wasn't just caught in the crossfire, it was the result. The city wasn't just unlucky, it was the target. The fires weren't a coincidence, they were the outcome of something engineered, something deliberately set into motion. What we're witnessing isn't a natural disaster, it's the calculated use of advanced technology on a scale that's impossible to ignore. LA has become the stage for something far bigger than a wildfire.
NASA and the other government agencies are working on a plan to create a global event evolving in a holographic projection, advanced technologies to manipulate populations and establish a new world order.
Massive loss of property.
6 different wildfires turned some of the most iconic neighborhoods in the world into moonscapes. Here's where things stand this evening. At least 11 people are dead. More than 150,000 are under evacuation orders.
The fires have caused a massive loss of property, with thousands of homes, businesses, and other structures destroyed. In total, more than 12,000 buildings were burned to the ground, leaving entire neighborhoods unrecognizable. Many homes built close together or near fire-prone areas allowed the fires to move quickly through neighborhoods.
You can see these coastal beachfront homes just erupting in flames.
Many iconic landmarks, like Griffith Observatory, famous from Rebel Without a Cause, closed on January 8th, along with access to the Hollywood sign and Los Angeles Zoo, though they weren't directly threatened. Palisades Charter High School, seen in shows like Teen Wolf and Freaky Friday, was damaged, as was the historic Palisades Theater, which shut down indefinitely. The estimated cost of the destruction is between $135 billion and $150 billion, making it one of the costliest disasters in U.S. history. For many families, the loss of their homes and belongings has been devastating, leaving them to start over with little more than the clothes on their backs. Just to emphasize the horrors of the fires, people have been posting clips showing the conditions they are facing. Although people were evacuated safely, we can only imagine what these people went through.
Came out and I saw a fireball.
Do you know what you're gonna do now?
How do I get to my house?
Oh, God, it's gone.
I hadn't cried until I got here.
UFO caught moving.
Just be okay. You're gonna be okay. Hi. You're gonna be okay.
Adding to the mystery of the California wildfires are recent events in New Jersey. Remember how just weeks before the fires, residents in New Jersey reported strange sightings of drones and glowing orbs in the skies. Similar glowing orbs have been seen within the wildfire zones, darting through smoke while laser-like beams ignite structures with alarming speed. Some believe these two incidents are connected, suggesting the orbs and beams may not just be random phenomena. Theories are emerging that the fires might be a smokescreen, literally and figuratively, to distract the public from something far bigger. Could the government be testing experimental technology or hiding secret operations under the chaos of the fires? The unusual sightings in New Jersey and California, combined with the reports of drones disrupting firefighting efforts, have sparked serious questions. With so many unanswered questions, suspicion continues to grow, leaving residents to wonder what's truly going on behind the flames. Use of EMP weapon. A day before the fires tore through LA, a massive flash of yellow and blue light illuminated the Hollywood Hills. It wasn't a flare, it wasn't lightning, it was something else entirely. The strange burst of energy didn't go unnoticed, and soon another video surfaced, a powerful laser-like beam cutting through the night. The footage was vague, but the intensity of the light was undeniable. What if these weren't random incidents? What if we're looking at the use of EMP weapons, advanced technology designed to destabilize and control? EMPs are known to generate powerful flashes of light, and their potential to wreak havoc is no secret. Disabling power grids, destroying infrastructure, even sparking fires. These weapons are capable of unimaginable destruction. Could these mysterious lights be tied to a larger agenda? The precise nature of the fires, the eerie timing of these flashes, and the lack of explanation all point to something bigger at play. Whoever is behind this isn't just starting fires, they're testing how far they can go. The question isn't whether whether these weapons are being used. The evidence is right in front of us. The real question is why, and who's pulling the strings? Conspiracies related to LA wildfire.
I talked to a fireman once. He was telling me, he goes, dude, one day, he goes, it's just going to be the right wind and fire's going to start in the right place and it's going to burn through LA all the way to the ocean and there's not a thing we can do about it.
Although California is not new to such fires, and being extremely dry, it is known to be prone to wildfires. The rapid spread of these fires have left many wondering if there's more to the story than just bad weather and dry conditions. Reports from across Los Angeles suggest something more sinister might be at play. Witnesses claim to have seen some people deliberately starting fires in multiple locations, raising questions about whether arson played a significant role in the disaster. One of them was even recently arrested. Adding to the mystery, planes tasked with dropping fire retardant over the flames were reportedly struck by drones, forcing them to land and delaying critical firefighting efforts. The presence of drones in active fire zones has led some to believe that there may be a deliberate attempt to hinder containment efforts, sparking conspiracy theories about who might be behind such actions and why. Further complicating the narrative, many residents have reported seeing unusual black smoke near the fires. Unlike the grayish-white smoke typical of wildfires, this darker smoke has led many to speculate it could indicate the use of fire accelerants or even industrial chemicals, making the suspicions about the origins of the fires feel like reality.
We are just about 10 homes north of Franklin at a home here on Vista where the palm tree above the home caught fire about 5 minutes ago. That itself is troubling and alarming. The concern is all these ashes are falling on top of this house and the house next door.
One of the strangest details came from eyewitnesses who noticed that the trees, even in the heart of the destruction, often stood eerily tall and untouched by the flames. While everything around them burned to ash, these trees remained intact, almost as if defying the inferno. These unsettling reports have left many questioning whether these fires are a result of natural conditions or if a larger, more organized effort is at work. While officials insist the fires are probably due to weather and climate factors, the strange incidents have left people with more doubts than answers. And the fact that the root cause of these fires is still under investigation makes it all the more mysterious. Smart City. As the wildfires in California rage on, some conspiracy theories suggest they might not be just a natural disaster, but part of a larger plan to reshape the state. One such theory links the fires to the Smart City project that many believe the government is planning for California by 2030. The idea behind the Smart City project is to create a highly advanced, tech-driven urban environment that uses cutting-edge technology. But to build such futuristic cities, a significant amount of land needs to be cleared. This is where the theory takes a dark turn. Some people believe that the wildfires, especially those that spread so quickly and destroyed so much, might be an intentional move to clear land for these smart city developments. The theory suggests that the fires could be a tool to remove homes and businesses in certain areas. The speed and precision of the fires, combined with the mysterious events surrounding them, have led to suspicions that the government might be deliberately using the disaster to push this agenda forward. While there's no proof to support these claims, the growing belief is that these fires are more than just a tragedy. They could be part of a much bigger plan that the public is unaware of. Water Reservoir.
Palisades fire has grown to more than 21,000 acres. It is only 8% contained as firefighters continue to battle dry conditions.
During the intense firefight in the Pacific Palisades, a massive reservoir with the capacity to hold 117 million gallons of water stood completely idle, bone dry. Firefighters fought desperately, but the water they needed wasn't there. The signs were too obvious. The reservoir had been deliberately drained, left empty when it should have been brimming with life-saving water. It's strange, isn't it? Months before the fires, insurance companies started pulling out, citing rising costs and unsustainable risks.
Unfortunately, the people in California this morning are waking up to this after losing their homes. They're the largest insurance company in California. They have reportedly canceled hundreds of homeowners' policies just this past summer in Pacific Palisades.
Then reservoirs, critical lifelines, were left dangerously low, some even drained, while water was diverted to the ocean. Fire departments faced budget cuts, staff shortages, and equipment failures. It was like everything had been set up to fail. And now, as the flames rage on, it feels more like a calculated decision, something deliberately left unprotected, a city left exposed, unable to be saved. The signs were there, hidden in plain sight, insurance pulled, water redirected, and resources withheld. It's almost like someone planned this. Let the city burn because they never intended to save it in the first place. Role of insurance companies. It's hard not to feel like something shady is going on here. In early 2024, several big-name insurance companies, State Farm, Farmers Insurance, The Hartford, and Falls Lake, either pulled out of California entirely or stopped offering new coverage. They claimed it was because of inflation, construction costs, and reinsurance issues. But then, Louisiana gets hit with one of the most destructive wildfires in history. That timing doesn't feel like a coincidence. These companies have access to tons of data, climate trends, fire risks, and more. What if they knew this was coming? What if they pulled out because they didn't want to deal with the fallout? It's almost like they jumped ship before the disaster struck. And while residents were left scrambling to rebuild their lives, these companies had already washed their hands of the responsibility. Could they have been tipped off? It's a question worth asking. Instead of warning people or pushing for prevention, they quietly backed away, leaving many to wonder, were they protecting themselves or did they just not care? Hollywood sign on fire.
Viral images that we see of the Hollywood sign on fire actually started to spread on social media as Los Angeles battles one of its worst fires in all of its history.
There were multiple videos circulating showing the Hollywood sign engulfed in flames, smoke billowing across the iconic landmark as if the city's heart itself was being consumed. But then, the newscasters came in, quick to dismiss it. They verified that the sign hadn't burned, that the fire hadn't even reached there.
The Hollywood sign did not catch fire as of today, that is, and we can prove it. Videos that don't even show the reality of the situation. Even though the Hollywood neighborhood was actually evacuated on Wednesday, the flames of the fire did not reach the Hollywood sign that is located in the hills.
Yet the footage kept spreading, clear evidence of something happening, something far worse than what they were letting on. It wasn't just an isolated incident. This is proof the government and media are working hand in hand to spread misinformation, actively trying to cover up bigger crimes and incidents. They feed us lies, mask the truth with carefully crafted narratives, while the real story plays out behind closed doors. The fires? They're not random. They're part of something bigger, something they're hiding, and every attempt to bring the truth to light is met with silence, distortion, or outright lies. But we know better now. We've seen the signs, the lies, the cover-ups. And the truth, it's burning right in front of us while they try to bury it beneath a layer of smoke and lies. Fulfillment of prophecy. 3 days before the fires in LA, she posted on Instagram claiming she had been sent by the Lord to LA and Santa Monica to preach on the streets. She spoke boldly, releasing what she called a prophetic word right there on Hollywood Boulevard.
You think getting drunk, smoking weed, sex before marriage, transgender, all of that, you think that God doesn't see it? God says it's an abomination.
Tying it to the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, how God destroyed the city with fire because they did not repent of their wickedness. She even went further, saying that wrath was coming to LA, something she felt deeply during her flight. At first, it seemed like just another wild, over-the-top claim, but now, with the city engulfed in flames, it feels chillingly accurate. How many people have been saying similar things, warning us about something dark, something inevitable, and yet we brush them off as conspiracy theorists, as crazy preachers trying to grab attention. But she wasn't crazy. She knew, and we were fools for not paying attention.
Sins of the world separate us from a holy God, because the wages of sin is death, hell, forever.
Simpsons.
Right here. This is where it's gotta be. This is, oh my God. What? I've never, look at this.
In an old Simpsons episode, Springfield is devastated by a wildfire that spreads through neighborhoods, destroying everything in its path. At the time, it just seemed like a fictional take on disaster. But now, with the LA fires raging, it feels less like fiction and more like a chilling mirror of reality. Here's the thing, The Simpsons has predicted countless major events, from technological leaps to political drama. Could this wildfire storyline be another eerie hit? Or here's a thought. Did someone see that episode and take notes? The connections are unsettling. A show that's been oddly prophetic just happens to depict a disaster that looks a lot like what's happening now. It feels too perfect to be a coincidence. And if we're questioning those insurance pullouts and everything that's going on, why not question this? What if the parallels aren't accidental but part of something bigger? It's a wild theory, sure, but these days it's hard to shake off the feeling that there's more going on behind the scenes. LA fire.
Homer! Homer!
In a Simpsons episode, firefighters are blocked by an absurd obstacle, ducks in their path, while Springfield burns. At first, it seemed like nothing more than a strange, throwaway gag. But now, as LA's firefighters face the real threat of wildfires, struggling against abandoned cars left in their way, it feels far more sinister. The ducks weren't just a joke, they were a symbol, a warning from the creators, pointing to something deeper, how all attempts to put out these fires would be obstructed in different ways. And just like in the episode, where firefighters couldn't reach those in need because they were blocked, Louisiana's firefighters are facing an all too real challenge: cars left abandoned in crucial routes. It's no coincidence. In recent years, the city has slashed budgets for fire departments, leaving them ill-equipped and underfunded. The mayor's decision to cut resources at a time when California is experiencing record-breaking wildfires. It's a deliberate act, one that aligns far too neatly with the obstacles shown in The Simpsons. These aren't just budget cuts, they're engineered to cripple the very people meant to protect the city. The cuts, combined with the deliberate blockages, are part of a much darker plan. Nikki Glazer.
All right, cast and crew are leading the way with 11 mentions. Moms are holding strong with 3 shout-outs. God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions.
Nikki Glazer stood on stage during the 82nd annual Golden Globes, going through the usual thank you shout-outs. As she paused, she casually muttered, "God, creator of the universe, 0 mention."
God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions.
She gave a small, knowing smile and added, almost mocking, "No surprise in this godless town." The very next day, Louisiana was hit by the worst wildfire in its history, tearing through the city's hills and burning its highest points. It wasn't just bad luck, there was something deliberate about it. It felt like those words, those dismissive remarks, had triggered something.
Firefighters there doing everything they can, but there simply aren't enough of them to fight the horror that has exploded.
Like the city's growing godlessness had sparked a response, something darker, waiting for the right moment to strike. This wasn't a random event. The fires consuming the heart of LA seemed planned, something meant to erase what little faith was left. The city's slow turn away from belief had awoken something ready to burn away every trace of reverence. And now, it feels as if LA has become a target, a place where ignoring the divine will come with consequences far beyond what anyone expected.
A new fire has broken out in the Hollywood Hills in Los Angeles, threatening landmarks like the Dolby Theater, where the Oscar ceremony is to be held in just a few weeks.
Billie Eilish. Five years ago, Billie Eilish released a song titled "All the Good Girls Go to Hell," and from the moment it dropped, it felt too specific, too intentional. In one of the verses, she sings, "Hills burn in California. My turn to ignore ya. Don't say I didn't warn ya." She knew. How else would she write something like that unless she had insider information? That wasn't just a coincidence. Billie Eilish was giving us a warning. She had to be in the know. Part of whatever's really controlling this mess. Either she's part of some secret society, feeding us subtle clues, or she's being used to put us on edge while the powers behind the scenes pull the strings. And then there's this. Man is such a fool. Why are we saving him? Poisoning themselves now. begging for our help. Wow. She wasn't just singing about the world. She was exposing something, a plan in motion. A system that's been pushing us towards disaster. No ordinary artist could make these kinds of predictions unless they were meant to, unless they were given the knowledge by those in control. Billy knew. She warned us, and now it's happening. Seeing all the proof, conspiracies, and theories, one thing's for sure, there's definitely something that we don't know about, be it the government keeping its plans hidden, or unknown forces pushing us toward disaster, or it's just the end of this world. I'll leave you to decide whether you believe these speculations or not. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.